What's up, fam? Bloom Daddy, back with a new episode. The first one in my soil series, the most important series for your houseplants, because you not only got to focus above ground, but also below ground, and making sure those roots are very, very happy. And in this video, we are going to talk about the number one issue regarding soil, the biggest problem. In fact, it's one of the biggest problems in the entire gardening industry and hobby, because we have been using the wrong type of soil. Yes, it's very good for our plants. However, it is destroying, like literally destroying our natural environment. And I'm not only going to tell you why it is and how it is, but I'm going to tell you in this video the better alternative, so we can not only have fun with our hobby, but better our world in the process. Are you ready? Let's get to it. In front of me, I have two different soil types. This first one is called peat moss. Check it out. Yes, this stuff has been used for decades. The number one favorite soil ingredient in the houseplant and vegetable gardening industry. You can find it at Home Depot, Lowe's. They normally sell it in big bags that have already been rehydrated. However, my friends, peat moss, something that the big box stores don't tell you, and practically any kind of retailer, they don't tell you how bad, how horrible, how disgusting and damaging peat moss is for the environment. It's very bad. So here's a little history lesson about peat moss. For the longest time, this soil ingredient has been the only thing of its kind to increase the oxygen your roots will get in the soil, and also help loosen up really hard clayey soils. In fact, when I first started making soil, I actually bought 6 cubic feet of peat moss because I was going to use it in my soil mixes before a friend in the gardening industry and the community told me about how harmful it is for our environment. And here's why. So this peat moss is a naturally occurring substrate in our world that is found in peat bogs, mostly in Canada, where they exist below the soil line in these beautiful natural environments. And in order to get to the peat moss, they have to bulldoze and completely destroy the natural habitat for flora, fauna, and all types of life that is so abundant and beautiful and vital to our ecosystem, in order just to get to this resource. And what's even more disgusting about the process of gathering peat moss and harvesting it, it's a non-renewable resource. In order to create 1 inch of peat moss, it takes our world, the natural process is 15 to 25 years. 15 to 25 years to create 1 inch of peat moss. And you cannot create peat moss man-made. It is a natural process that takes literally 15 to 25 years. So what we are doing is harvesting a non-renewable resource from the environment and destroying the habitat for so many animals, plant, and everything in our world. It tears me up. You can't see it because I'm wearing these glasses, but boy, am I emotional. All right, the tears are gone. We're done with peat moss. Peat moss is gone. It is a really great product. However, it is outdated. It is old. We are saying goodbye to peat moss. We are turning off all the tractors. We are turning off this bad part of the industry and welcoming, with a great smile, something that looks practically identical to peat moss. And what is this? Hello and welcome to our savior, our hero in the soil world. It is Coco Coir. This stuff right here, practically the same benefits peat moss has, naturally occurring, renewable, and perfect for your plants. So overall, when it comes to comparing and contrasting these two different types of soil ingredients, I've come to a conclusion. The only big difference between these two mediums is the cost. It costs a little bit less to stick with this old, out-of-date peat moss versus investing in the new modern world renewably with Coco Coir. The breakdown is this: 3.5 cubic feet, which is a typical, actually a pretty big bag of soil for peat moss, is $12 compared to the price of 3.5 cubic feet of Coco Coir, which is around $17 to $18. So about a $5 difference, and that is that's the only difference between these two types of soil. So that $5 extra will buy our world a lot of time. It'll save a lot of things, but it will also keep your plants happy too, just the same way peat moss will. Here it is, friends. The stuff that'll change our world. It's literally called Beats Peat, the eco-friendly way to improve your soil. It comes in a nice square wrapping like this, and here's how you go about using it. I personally recommend buying the Coco Coir that come in dehydrated blocks, like the company I just showed you. These dehydrated blocks are really easy to not only get shipped, a lot more environmentally friendly, get them shipped right to your house, and you can practically just throw some water into a bucket, put one of the blocks in, and within minutes you'll start seeing the Coco Coir break down into the soil that you can add to your mix. After you rehydrate the Coco Coir to make it look like this, I like to store it in a typical storage bin, one of those black plastic ones I have for all my soil types. I put all the Coco Coir in there that's been rehydrated and slap a label on it and call it a day. Plant fam, spread this message to as many gardening friends as you know, help the word get out, and make sure we stop buying peat moss and welcome Coco Coir into our lives with open arms. Thank you so much for watching this video, and tune in for part 2 where I get further into the soil series of making the perfect houseplant mix for your favorite plants.